Well, wait, leave if they're on, of course, a meeting, then if anybody gets on early, all they hear is silent.
Yeah, that's not good.
We don't need stress for no reason.
I agree. Let's not do it.
So I wasn't. Yeah, that's the thing. The tracks, it shows. So I was like, I'm happy.
Okay, what is it now?
Oh my God.
Big contentious stuff.
You're right.
Always these oils.
Practice. Yes, that's fine. That makes sense. Runs everybody's. That's fine as well. Yeah.
I asked about the driving to things on. That's where everybody you're at. They don't see that knows it's for stuff. Yes, that's what was it. That's like.
All right, we're ready.
All right, good evening. The time is 6 p.m. I will call to order the October 28th meeting of the Huxley City Council. Roll call, please.
Murphy,
Here.
Mulder,
Here.
Rigler,
Here.
Etcher,
Here.
Roberts. Here.
And I will note that we are streaming on YouTube. I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I give it a motion.
Motion Mulder,
Second.
second by Ms. Roberts. Any discussion?
I would like to,
Not yet. Sorry. All those in favor, please respond with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving along, now is the time in the agenda for public comment. Anybody wishing to make public comments this evening is certainly welcome to. Just ask that you come to the podium, start with your name and address, and limit your comments to 5 minutes. If you're wishing to speak on one of the work session items, that's regarding sidewalks on Second Avenue and water purchase agreement, I'll give you an opportunity during the work session to speak on those items, but if you would like to speak on any other agenda or non-agenda item, now would be your opportunity. Please, just ask you to start with your name and address, sir.
My name is Rick LePage and I'm here with my wife Bernie. And we live at 704 North Fifth Avenue, of course, here in Huxley. And we just wanted to make the council aware of the damage that has occurred to our culvert we believed, due to the increased drainage off the football field since it's been redone. So that's our business here. And I have pictures I'd like to pass out if I may.
So are you the southeast corner of that intersection? Am I picturing that correctly?
Yeah, we're not right on the corner.
Okay,
We're like 2 houses down from.
Okay.
2 houses north of the corner.
thank you.
And I'll just, if I can comment on the pictures, just so you know what they're all about. The top one is, it's a diagram of the drainage system that's coming out of the football field and going under, Linwood Drive and then down to our house, which is 704 North Fifth Avenue. It's the one that's got the arrow towards it. And then the second picture is the culvert on the north side of our driveway. And that's it's eroded so bad that the pipe actually dropped down and out of the pipe on the south side. So, yeah. And you can see, I don't know if you can see where it's like sinking. That crack is getting wider at the top of the picture there. Yeah, so it's been damaged. And I have a question too. When that if it collapses, who should we contact about that?
It's certainly a fair question, and I forgot to lead with my typical disclosure. Public comments, anybody is certainly welcome to make comments, and we encourage that. However, it's not an opportunity for a kind of a question answer back and forth with council.
Okay.
So while I do appreciate your question, you're welcome to ask any additional questions. Council has the opportunity to make comments at the close of the meeting or certainly reach out to you directly. So
Okay, great. Thank you.
thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate it.
Is there anybody else wishing to be heard this evening on any agenda or non-agenda items? Okay, seeing no one rise. Moving along is the consent agenda. Need a motion on the consent agenda.
I'd like to make a motion, but to separate item B.
Okay, we can pull B for separate discussion.
I'll give you a second. Oh.
You want to poll, are there any additional items that need to be polled?
Aye.
Yep.
Aye.
Yep.
For separate.
Okay, so B and I will poll for separate discussion. Any additional items? Okay. Hearing none, any motion on the consent agenda, polling B and I, or excluding B and I. Okay, motion by Mulder,
I'll give you a second.
second by Roberts. Any discussion on the balance of those items other than B and I? Hearing none, roll call please. Oh, I'm sorry.
So, I don't know if this is the appropriate time, but, can we change the date?
We'll get to that. Yep, not yet. Yep, thank you. Oh. Yep, so everything but B and I. I've got a motion and a second. Hearing no discussion, roll call please.
Mulder,
Yes.
Rigler,
Yes.
Etcher,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I need a motion for item 4B this evening, which is payment of the bills from 10/28, I believe. Motion by Mr. Mulder,
Second.
second by Mr. Etcher. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mulder,
Yes.
Rigler,
I'm going to abstain. Can I have a family member paid in this cycle?
Etcher,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Thank you very much. Item 4I this evening. I need a motion on item 4I.
I'll make a motion and that we change this to the 18th per citizen request.
Okay.
I'll give you a second.
Okay, so I've got a motion by Mr. Etcher and a second by Mr. Mulder. And this is setting the public hearing for a rezoning of a property on North Park Boulevard. And also one on Highway 69. So the motion is to hold that public hearing on November 18th. Motion and a second. Any discussion on that?
And this would be a special council meeting? This is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Yes, so that is not a scheduled council meeting. That will be a a special council meeting that evening. We will not be holding council on November 11th. That's a federal holiday for staff. So we'll be here on the 18th now.
and that's still having two meetings in November though, right?
Yes, 18th and 25th.
20,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Roll call, please.
Rigler,
Yes.
Etcher,
Yes.
Roberts. Yes. Well, excuse me, Murphy,
Yes.
Mulder.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I do just want to clarify a couple things regarding kind of the timing of this because I was asked some questions on this. The steps here, the process here is this rezoning request will first go to the Planning and Zoning Commission. The Planning and Zoning Commission will make a recommendation to council to approve or disapprove this. That Planning and Zoning meeting will be on November 17th. Certainly citizens are welcome to participate in that and make comments. Written comments are always encouraged for planning and zoning matters. If you're going to make written comments, ask that you get those in by November 10th at noon so they can be included in the packet that goes out to the planning and zoning members. But otherwise, that planning and zoning meeting is on the 17th. And I believe that's going to be on the Zoom platform due to some member travel. So that's November 17th. November 18th, there will be a city council meeting at which there will be a public hearing. Anybody again has the opportunity to speak to council at that public hearing. You can also contact your elected officials ahead of time with any written comments or questions. That's November 18th. I anticipate the November 25th meeting. This will be on the agenda for council for the first reading. We'll have planning and zoning's recommendation at that point. Haven't had an opportunity to hear the public comments. So that will be council's opportunity to discuss that and ultimately vote on that. If the first vote is successful, it will take a second and third vote. Those would be at subsequent meetings in December. So just outlining the process for those that are interested. Moving along this evening, item 5A is resolution number 25106. It's a resolution approving amending development agreement with Huxley Plaza LLC. Need a motion?
This just adds that second parcel to the agreement that was left off of the original.
Okay, thank you, Barb. Need a motion, please.
Give me a motion.
Motion by Mr. Mulder,
Second.
second by Mr. Rigler. Any questions or comments on this? Sure.
It didn't change the intent of our original, like I was trying to read through that. I
It
was,
matched the intent.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
okay, thanks.
Okay, I've got a motion in a second. I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Mulder,
Yes.
Rigler,
Yes.
Etcher,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes,
Murphy,
Yes.
All right, moving along. Item 5B this evening is ordinance number 552. It's an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances for the city of Huxley by amending chapters 15 and 17 regarding council pay. Need a motion on this?
give you a motion.
We have a motion by Ms. Roberts.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Etcher. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Roberts,
Yes,
Murphy,
Yes.
Mulder,
Yes.
Rigler,
Yes.
Etcher,
Yes.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to waive the third reading of this ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Roberts,
Second.
second by Mr. Etcher. This will take a 4/5 vote. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Roberts,
Yes,
Murphy,
Yes.
Mulder,
Yes.
Rigler,
Yes.
Etcher,
Yes.
Okay, now I need a motion to approve the third reading of ordinance number 552.
I'll give you the motion.
Motion by Ms. Roberts,
Second.
second by Mr. Etcher. Comments? Roll call, please.
I do have a comment. This will go into effect January 1st.
Thank you very much.
Oh, just for comments for transparency, I'm the one that brought the motion to the table with support. It's just raising the council pay from 75 to 125 and mayor pay from 150 to 200. Hasn't been an increase in over 12 years. Just for the record.
Thank you very much. I've got a motion in a second. Roll call, please.
Roberts.
Yes,
Murphy,
Yes.
Mulder,
Yes.
Rigler,
Yes.
Etcher,
Yes.
Moving along, item 5C this evening is ordinance number 553. It's an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances for the city of Huxley regarding trees and landscape plan review. Need a motion.
I'll offer a motion.
Motion by Mr. Rigler,
Second.
second by Mr. Murphy. Any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Rigler,
Yes.
Etcher,
Yes.
Roberts,
yes,
Murphy,
Yes.
Mulder,
Yes.
All right, I would also entertain a motion to waive suspend the rules and waive the third reading here.
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Mr. Etcher.
Second.
Second, Mr. Rigler. Again, this will take a 4/5 vote. Roll call, please.
Etcher,
Yes.
Roberts,
yes,
Murphy,
Yes.
Mulder, Rigler,
Yes.
All right, and finally, I need a motion to approve the third reading of ordinance amending ordinance number 553.
I'll offer a motion.
Motion, Mr. Rigler,
Second.
second, Mr. Etcher. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Rigler,
Yes.
Etcher,
Yes.
Roberts,
yes,
Murphy,
Yes.
Mulder,
All right, moving along this evening, we have department reports. Any staff with any items this evening? Seeing no one.
The station look is just about ready for a startup tomorrow. So
Oh, good.
hopefully they'll wrap up by then.
Good. Great. Appreciate the update on that. Nothing else in the back row there. Aaron,
Good this evening.
thank you, ma'am. Barb,
nothing from me.
Mr. Murphy.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
No. I do not have any comments this evening either. That is going to conclude our regular business items this evening. We do have a work session planned with 2 items. The first is regarding sidewalks on Second Avenue. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak on work session items this evening? If you're wishing to be heard on either work session item, now would be your opportunity. Oh. Sure.
Dave, kind of thought it'd be nice to have here, if you have any questions, but the things we got on the sidewalks, we'd like to share with you, and I think it's gonna share that.
Yep.
So-
Yep, no, absolutely. Before I get to you. Yep, anybody else from the public? I assume nobody else from the public wants to be heard on this. So perfect. If you wouldn't mind, sir.
Awesome. Thanks for having us tonight here. We met with the city a week and a half ago, I think, and kind of went through where we were at on the water main project and overlay, and that has some sidewalk infill. And then they're sideways up there. Perfect. So Nick Frederickson with ISG. I also got Cam Carroll back there, who's been kind of helping on the back end and leading us some of the coordination. So during the review meeting, one of the first things that came up is actually on Second Avenue on the north side of the project. I did want to start there and kind of go through where we're at. It doesn't show a real grade on the it's R04. So you have to go ahead 2 pages. There you go. So this is on the very end of North Second Avenue here. On this last stretch, we're looking at there is no sidewalk on this stretch, starting at the intersection 5th on the south side of it, heading north. So we're looking at putting on sidewalks there. We have right away, plenty of right away to put this in for most of it. It's gonna be a little bit tight on the south side, but right up at the very north on the bottom of that page there, you can see that we're ending at that cul-de-sac right now. So the question that's arose that we were talking with Jeff and Matt on is, where do we want to end sidewalk there? If we look to try to encompass that cul-de-sac, we're gonna have some larger issues to have to try to deal with if you guys would like to see sidewalk that fully envelops that cul-de-sac. Limited right away on there. Great issues. They're gonna have to put a wall in, get sidewalk issues. We're moving a manhole already to get it out of where it's at so we can have a better connection with sanitary sewer. Those types of situations. So that's getting moved on there. Yep. So this whole segment actually gets, you don't have all of the sheets that have to do with the water here. There's a new water main that comes in all the way across through this segment on the project, and then a mill and overlay on the asphalt roadway for rehabilitation. So we're moving that hydrant, we're moving the manhole, but there's no room for real sidewalk there. So we're really asking for some general direction from council on what they would like to see up in this area, whether we show the crossing that we have in there would act as you could qualify it as a mid-block crossing on there. So it's not going to be at an intersection. Happy to stripe it, happy to do whatever council directions in there. But the charge from the city staff was 5-foot sidewalks along this corridor. And we get to this point and we're a little bit stuck, because if we do anything more, there is no front yards. There just isn't a lot of room to work with right here. So we'd like to kind of talk through that with you and what you guys would like to see there, and see if there's anything else we should know in this area from council. Sum that up, Matt.
Yeah, so a couple things to add on with some of this is the cost, obviously. Putting in sidewalk through the whole project, that's including East Fourth and West Fifth there, or East Fifth. So going forward to put the sidewalk around the cul-de-sac, obviously it's gonna have a grade change. People would, if we left it at the height that it is, they'd be dragging their bumper, getting into their driveway. It's not really feasible to do it. Or narrowing the bulb of the cul-de-sac, which that's gonna be another huge cost. Leveling it out, that type of thing, rerouting stormwater. I mean, this is the cheapest route, basically, is what we're getting at.
And Matt's, discussed with us that council initiatives on, improving sidewalk access throughout the community here that you guys have had a goal to do. So trying to find a healthy balance where we can get that through this segment to get the pedestrian traffic, off of the street corridor here, improve the street corridor. But then give you essentially an improved crossing. Now, whether that is right where we have it shown there, right at the bulb, or we can move it back and turn the crossing there. We attempted to do that there to better serve the public. I think there's 5 houses on that cul-de-sac, if I remember correctly, to get them access there without having to get in that travel right away there. So, just there's one that's got a lot of, children out and about in our work. So
I drove it last week and looked at it and I don't see I'd like to have the sidewalks, but there's no way in that round, the roundabout down there.
That's what I was gonna ask. So we're talking 5th, 2nd where the church is, clear up to the stop sign. So you just want to exclude the cul-de-sac in there because we're gonna take that median out of the middle anyway, right?
Correct, yes.
So that's better for everybody. I'm more interested in the safe route from over 69 up 4th, 2nd, and then up to the school. So
That's it.
I don't have a
Yeah,
concern with
Yeah,
that.
I just wanted to knock this one out because this is the one that was kind of in the original scope that we had discussed with the city on the project. And then the other safe route to school on 4th and 5th.
Yep.
That we're looking at there. We can kind of walk through that. That one's a little bit easier, doesn't have quite as much impact. If you're excluding actually Highway 69 out of that equation. So
any other comments regarding that cul-de-sac and sidewalk?
Yeah, the way you have it shown, dying kind of into the
Yeah.
bulb looks fine to me, or if you want a 90 and
Well,
cross,
yeah.
either way seems to work for me as long as it meets the ADA
yeah.
rules.
Yeah,
I'm good with.
here we'll meet that. I like dying into the bulb to get that
Yeah,
longitudinal transient access there. It'll still have an approved crosswalk across too. We don't need to stripe it or anything
Right.
like that,
Yep.
but you can actually have it because if you enter a road, we got to have somewhere to go out, right?
Yep.
And we can go out across the road there. So,
Yep. So-
that's what we kind of came up with, try to limit impact and cost. Like I said, it doesn't look like there's a way for it to work. We can make it work, but it's a big check. And that's something that we wanted to make sure that you guys were on board with.
I don't see any objection to stopping it as you've designed it there, so proceed that direction.
Okay, sweet. We appreciate that. Kind of going along, we'll start on RO1, so be back up 4 pages for the person running the computer here. These are pretty rough sketches. We got most of the along 4th Street, we've established the right of way. There's a couple little pinch points on connections and that we got to kind of work through and how that's going to look like. But right now, we're looking at all the way along the south side, 5-foot sidewalk. Set a foot off the right of way line, which should give you a couple feet to the curb and gutter. It's pretty narrow. But that's where we're going to be. There's some impacts on a couple of guy wires, a pole that we're going to have to go around, some bushes that would have to be trimmed. It's going to require kind of replacement of all the sidewalks all the driveways along that segment. We talked to Matt a little bit on some improvements on the alley in that area as well. But that'll run along the south side, all the way over to Highway 16. The discussion point there I would want to ask is, right now, there is no sidewalk on that side of the road across the highway. On the east side of the highway right there. Is there intent to cross the highway there or to limit that highway crossing to just on the north side?
I'll be honest, I thought we would just do sidewalk on one side of that street that was already halfway in and out. Am I the only one that was thinking that way? To do both sides? I mean, it's pretty much built out on the north side.
There's some,
of
there
4th.
is, I think 2 segments on the north side, kind of on the west end that are decent. We got a couple decent
Yeah.
lengths in there. From the house rehabilitation and then another piece, from a water main work and stuff like that. So there is some pieces on there. When we were talking to Jeff and Matt, I guess I was under the assumption that we were lining both sides of it, but again, that's up to you guys where you want the sidewalk at. We're happy to, entertain the design and get that done, whatever side of the road it's on.
Yeah, the only reason I'm saying that for what you're describing too on the on the south side of the road, there's nowhere for it to go over to
have to
Jerry's,
turn.
right?
So our plan would be to get up to that Highway 69 right there.
Just turn it back to the
there's
other
been some
side.
There, we would have to cross, just ahead of that stop bar. It's not drawn in on this right now, just because we didn't know what you guys wanted to do yet. So we would have to cross there on going north and south of longitudinal to the highway, and then you could cross the highway at that crosswalk.
So if cost wise, what? Right, because there's nowhere to go, so it'll be the same. I want at least one, my goal is for at least one sidewalk on that road. So if the offset of the cost for not doing the bulb helps this without having much, you may have a different opinion, Greg, because you like sidewalks everywhere, both sides, right?
Tracy.
But yeah, I think the planning, at least I was under the impression.
Is both?
Yeah, to do both, and then it seems like that's the direction.
So,
He's looking.
okay,
That's what I,
At this, basically, there's.
It's a very busy street.
Coverage.
Yeah.
If we didn't do that, and some point it's just whenever the right time is to build that site in.
and it may be the right time because the intake is right by the alley there, right? That's what you're talking about, and that's a problem when it rains heavily anyway. So if we can do both, I mean, that's fine. I just apologize. I wasn't thinking both sides were happening, but if we can do both sides, we probably should.
Yeah, I guess that is, that's a prerogative of the city, whether it's on this project or the next project as funding allows. And I know you're working with the administrator on that overall. So, as far as we're concerned, if you want to see it on both sides on this project, we're happy to, get that done and get that out to bid to let you guys make an informed decision on that. Our estimate really hasn't changed from what we submitted early on, for some sidewalk work, early phases. We're just kind of trying to dive in a little bit deeper on this and get some better understanding and direction from you guys to make sure that we're on point, I guess.
So east side, you can just terminate it to go towards.
The north, correct. Yep.
Not deal with the.
Yep.
Crossing, there's. Parcel.
Takes the other sidewalk to get to.
Then,
Yep, because there is a sidewalk on the north side that does head east from there. So that would be our plan on that instance there. So there's not a lot there. We got a little bit of movement. There may be some sliding. There's, on First Ave, there's a pole right in the way, so whether the city's prerogative, do you work with who owns the pole to move it? Or do you want us to try to do our best to get around the pole? Those are some things where we haven't dug too deep in yet, because a lot of times they don't want to move a pole for a sidewalk. So, that's right at the corner there. The sidewalk looks really wonky there because we're gonna have to turn it into a class A. A class A on that sidewalk to come around there right off the back of curb and then drop it down to cross the roadway on the other side. So just getting pretty tight with the intake and a pole that's right there. So it's in conflict. So I don't know if I can completely fit it yet or not. We're not at that stage to determine.
Any strong preferences to move the pole or otherwise? Is it $1,000
I don't
to
know
move a
where,
pole?
I don't
or-
know where I'd move it to, in all honesty.
That's part of your
No,
problem. Okay.
It's gonna stay in line there.
Okay.
So I don't know how I could, if it was a little bit farther back from the road, it would allow us to jump up and come back down, of course, but
Sure.
we'll do what we can to try to fit that in
Right
right there
around it.
and go from there. If it comes to a bigger deal, we'll coordinate with Matt and Jeff and see what we need to do.
and we can talk with the Lion on that and see what the options may be on that, if that's the route you guys want to go.
Okay. As we move back to I'm gonna lose my voice. Jeepers. As we move back to the west, there is another pole that's not as much in conflict. We can go around it there. And then as we get over to the west end there, that sidewalk work has already been kind of recently redone. We're gonna have to redo it again to just give you guys a heads up, because we don't have detectable warnings in the flow of traffic that we can do. So there's gonna be rework right there. Exactly how that pans out, I don't know at this time yet. So flipping over to the north side of the roadway here. So this is the part of the road that there is a couple segments of sidewalk in. It looks a little bit, I think we can fit it on that north side in the right of way there and not have to redo the detectable warnings by the way it's set up, but it's gonna be really, really tight on the right of way. So we'll get that laid in there. I don't know what the appetite for small sidewalk easements is with the council if we need it, or you can go in. We don't have a whole lot of room to move here because there's another pole right there, right? So I don't know have you guys obtained sidewalk easements in the past for anything, or do you just do everything in your absolute power to make it fit in the right of way? Would be a question I would have for council.
Have not done a lot for sidewalk easements, but we've got a lot for utility easements.
Yep,
So.
pretty common.
That would be something, yeah, so, those, you know, one thing on the bad sidewalk sometimes it can be down by the public because they want to follow away. So like for instance, in that cul-de-sac, if they want to farther out, and they got to grant easement to get that way, if they want the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So They pass stuff. Until that.
Okay.
But those are usually, you know, the customer on those, or the only one best, so they have some kind of right.
Yep.
So, but, you know, it's not saying it can't be done, but if they really need that, you know. I'm kind of talking to you on certain point, this up, this sidewalk, maybe we want to. So.
I would think on that, we'll go in and we'll kind of update this a little bit more, Jeff, and sit down, and then you can, the city can kind of talk to that if there's any instances of that case through the project. So we'll walk that path there. As we go on that north side of 4th Street, you're gonna see there is a segment of sidewalk in there. That segment is 4-foot wide sidewalk. That's in there right now. Do you guys like going from the intersection to that piece, do you want to just keep that 4 foot all the way to the intersection, or do you want us to dive out to 5 right away and run 5? I know that you got to sit in the ordinance of 5 foot for any new sidewalks that are in there, but that segment is 4 foot right there. As we go east, our plan was to widen going east because it's a longer stretch and we don't have anything else to connect to until we get to the east end. But it's just it's a 1 lot kind of, or a 2 lot segment right there. That would just make it 5 for. I just wanted to get the council's thoughts on that before we jump into any additional design on it.
If somebody else were doing the work at their own home, we'd require 5. So that would be my initial preference, would be 5.
We'll take a panel, taper to 5 and put that in. Our goal is just to stay 1 foot off the property throughout the segment for everything. So. Anything else on that north side, Matt? I think that was pretty, that one's probably about the easiest. There is some poles sitting in there too. We're gonna have to meander around. A couple of them in a pretty bad spot. So we'll tackle those, see if we can get around it. We're supposed to have 2 foot of clear space on there. I'll do our best to get that, but there is one, if it's right on, sheet RO2 in the middle there that you can see that's sitting right in the middle of the sidewalk because it's not set back towards the property like the other poles are. So we may have to do some coordination on that to get before they can construct this as well. Jumping over to RO3 on your plan there. So this one, the south side, we've established the right of way on it. So it is really, really narrow on the south side of the street. So this is going to be the question of one side or both sides for council. And because if we put it on the south side, unless you want to get right of way, it's going to go to the back of the curb and you may still need to get right of way. The right of way is about 5 feet off the back of the curb in this vicinity. It is that narrow through this segment. So it's not real great for sidewalk purposes.
What do you have on the north side?
The north side, we're still trying to establish. We're
Okay.
not done yet.
Okay.
From what the best we know, the west half is about the same. Is that in kind of the red line that's on there? That's not a final established line, but it is shown in there. So we're gonna have the same issue on the north side. But the north side, the way the project's set up, we have a little bit more availability. If you guys were to get right of way on this west piece, we can jump it back out farther and then go along the little garage and then jump it back out farther going east. So I think there would be some property acquisition or right of way acquisition needed for that along the segment. But this is a pretty tough segment to try to fit that in. Just because these old roads don't have a lot of right of way to it with the width of your street. So, like I said, there could be some right of way acquisition along the whole corridor, along a part of the corridor. No matter what, at each end on the west side, depending on if you're the north or south end of the road, you're going to need some sort of right of way acquisition just to be able to tie into the north-south sidewalk there. It doesn't allow us to really tie in at all in the motion of public or pedestrian traffic to meet ADA requirements.
Okay.
So yeah, looking for some guidance there. Those are questions that we can't answer as an engineering firm. So.
Fair enough. Council, what's your preference here? One side on the south, maybe it becomes a 4 foot 6 inch sidewalk, or you maximize what you can without right of way acquisition, or maybe you do acquire, a couple foot of right of way there. So do you want one side, both sides? What do you want to do here?
Beside that,
The garage thing?
Yeah.
right.
It would be, so we haven't, that, it's about 5 feet off of it, so it would literally be adjacent to that structure. You would be right there. It's not great, plain and simple. So there's more room on the south side, but we have more poles to deal with. And there's, that right of way is narrow through the entire segment, right there to try to run that in there. I'd prefer to have the sidewalk if we can, if we're going to do it, to not put it, so a class A sidewalk's gonna abut your back of curb, right? I would prefer to have a gap in there, 5-foot sidewalk, and then a small 1 foot or 2 foot, and then the, you know, the new established right of way line through that, if we can do it just for best practices and safety of the public. We all know what it's like walking on the roadway without that kind of protective clear space, with the traveling public.
Oh, absolutely. So you're looking at potentially maybe 3 foot of right of way acquisition.
3 to 4 foot all the way through there, if that's something that the council would entertain. No matter what in this segment, if you're gonna put a 5-foot sidewalk in, we're gonna have to get right away somewhere overall, based on what we have to date.
What do you think of those trees on the south side of Musqueam?
Are they in the current right of way or not? They're right on the edge of it, Greg. So, I don't have a good response for that right now, because I'd like to kind of understand what our goals were before we would jump into tree removal, especially on trees that are substantial in size. So it's a difficult corridor. So,
But, yeah,
yes.
since it is all.
So my thinking on this, if we're gonna drop down to a 4'6" in one area to accommodate us and accommodate so why aren't we dropping down to 4 foot on the other area to match the sidewalk instead of going from 5 foot to 4 foot? If it's only two lots too.
Yeah, it's a fair question. My preference would not be to go to 4'6" because that puts us right at back of curb. And to me, that's not a preferable design. So I'd like a foot of green space, if you will, then a sidewalk. And as long as you're doing that, you put in a 5 foot because you're requiring right away anyway.
Agreed.
But the 5 foot's gonna put us right up against.
It's actually 4 foot on the south side. I just looked at really, really small measurement on there is 4.08 feet, which is 4 foot 1 inch from the back of curb to the right of way.
Yeah.
You almost needed my readers out for that one. That's
Yeah, a 4 foot wide sidewalk against
be-
the back of curb, that's tight feeling if you're a child on a bicycle kind of a situation.
Yeah, and you know, we've come to realize in the evolution of pedestrian travel that walking side by side on a 4 foot sidewalk is you gotta stagger yourself, right? 5 foot is an immense amount of space, and that's actually a requirement for turning spaces as well. Luckily, you have some driveways and alleys, so that can accommodate that, so we don't have to put every X feet a turning space in. But it's the segment's narrowed, council. So unless we're gonna go through property acquisition, there's gonna be a lot of settling, I guess, on what you guys may be able to do here in comparison to your ordinance, as far as not following your 5 foot ordinance to date, unless you're, prepared to start property acquisition and see how that goes, start negotiations on the project. For the segment right here.
Yep. Is there any opposition to engaging a conversation with those property owners to see if there's, to get their direct input, get their thoughts maybe?
I don't have any problem with engaging with a conversation, but I'm not willing to say, hey, we're gonna take this. I mean, I'm more for make it work, and then the other two properties to I believe it was the north, correct? That we just go to the 4 foot.
I'm all for conversation. I mean, you don't know what's out there until you ask. We have conversation, we get the facts, and then we can reconvene and talk about where we go from there.
And we have a little work to do on the north side. Like I said, we're still trying to establish that north right away. And we don't have that completed yet. So, I'm assuming it's gonna be close, but I've seen data changed immensely when we actually get into the boundary survey piece portion of it, so. Any other questions on the sidewalks in general from council or directives that we need?
Sorry, I'm gonna make you go back to fourth. Are we doing 5 foot on both sides then? Is that what
Yes.
we decided? Okay.
Yes.
I want to be able to speak like I know what I'm talking about when the neighbors ask
Understandable,
me.
yes.
Okay.
I don't think so. Greg, anything reason? Okay, yeah, we'll keep working with Jeff and Matt here. We want a little direction before we went any farther on this, so it just kind of limits the amount of rework that we can do, and just kind of wanted to understand the council's objectives on, creating better pedestrian paths throughout the community. So awesome. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate your efforts. Thank you very much. All right, we have one final item this evening on the work session. That's 7B, and that's discussion regarding mutual termination of water purchase agreement. Mr. Peterson.
So basically what's in front of you is I was contacted by IRUA. They'd like to terminate our water contract with them that we did several years ago. Somebody weren't on here, but we had a contract because we already had the water main out to come and go. And at this point in time, I think just in a nutshell, I think it's been a lot of work that they have to do because it becomes a consecutive system when come and go, or when IRU buys the water from the city. So I think at this point, they just like to terminate that contract, give us that territory, and we would be the sole provider. So nothing really to it. There was a little bit of language we added to make that look for the come and go site. And right now it's in the hands back with IRUA to go in front of their board. When we get that back, and if they're good with it and they sign it, we'll bring it back to council to have it signed. So.
Are there any meter pits that get removed?
Nope.
So,
Nope,
okay.
because everything was kind of in there, already put in there by them. So they just had kind of taken over as a consecutive system. They used our meters, everything to bill them. So we were just billing IRUA, and then IRUA is having to turn around and bill come. So at this point, it just becomes solely a provider. We're becoming the sole provider, and they'll just kind of walk away from it. So.
That's really what we wanted in the beginning, right?
Yeah,
We
kind
tried
of.
to
It
get
was
this
just,
now.
yeah, when
Okay.
you're consecutive system, it's just like have another water license permit. You have to do all the SLCs, VOCs, the, organics and all that testing, the lead and coppers, and they have to be there at least twice a day to take free and total chlorines. And I don't think that by the time you send somebody from Newton every day, that gets kind of costly. So I think that's kind of in a nutshell what was going on. They thought, you know what, it's probably not worth their time and the investment they got in that. So just terminate that contract. So unless it comes back different from them, that's what I sent to them, what you guys probably have in front of you guys. So when that gets back and Erin's looked at it, she's good with it. And the
Okay.
language I put in there, she just had asked that I put in the address. So in case that property would change hands, which it is. So that's good.
Yep.
Average now. So it goes with the property. So
Sure.
but yeah.
Amy also wanted me to add that right now the billing for that is kind of a nightmare. So the water is billed to IRUA, the sewer is billed to Come and Go, and the water base fee is billed to Come and Go. So it involves a lot of manual entry on her part. She just wanted you to know that this would save that. Plus, she says the agreement with IRUA, the water's billed at a lower rate than the rest of the city. So this would eliminate that.
Yeah. So I think it's a win-win for both of us, for RUA at this point.
Yeah.
For the city to just kind of get rid of that. So.
No, that's perfect. I'm not hearing any opposition to that proposal from council, so proceed accordingly, sir.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
That one's clear.
With that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll give you a motion.
Motion, Mr. Mulder.
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Etcher. All those in favor, please respond with aye.
Hi.
All those opposed, same sign. As a reminder, we are not meeting on November 11th. Our next meeting will be November 18th at 6 p.m. Have a good night.